All right, FightHype.com, Sean Zattel. Pleasure to be joined with the undefeated 26-year-old, 26-0 WBA super lightweight champion of the world, defending his title on pay-per-view against one of the best fighters, pound for pound, and Gervonta Davis on Showtime, June 26th. Man, Mario Barrios. There's so much talk about size in this fight, Mario, that Tank's a guy who's fought at 130. He's going all the way up to 140. How do you make your size work to your advantage in this fight?
And I just got to go in there, on fight night and just be myself. At the end of the day, it's Tank who's coming up, two weight classes, and so he's the one, who has to prove, that he can be in there with a bigger dude, that he could be in there with the true, 140 pounder.
To make the size work for yourself, does that mean you have to you fight a little, you press the guy a little more, or do you not necessarily have to do that to let your size work for you?
Of course, because of my size, they would, my team would want me, to use my length, use my height. But, Tank is, a very quick fighter, a very explosive fighter. So, there is going to be times, when he is going to be able to get on the inside. And so going into this fight, we just have to be prepared, for any type of fight, that Gervonta may bring.
What do you think of the fact that his promoter, Leonard Ellerby, has stated, this wasn't my idea, this fight. This is a dangerous fight. This was Gervonta's idea to take this fight. What do you think about that, Mario?
I've said it before, I think, Tank is trying to do something, something great, and I can respect that. But, at the end of the day, even his team knows, this is a very dangerous fight for him. And, yeah, man, that's exactly what it is.
What do you think he may have overlooked or people don't know about you as a fighter that made him make the wrong decision in trying to pick this fight with you?
I don't really know, what they might have saw, they might have saw, some weaknesses or they might have thought that they did, but, none of that really matters because, all that matters is, what happens on fight night. And, I'm just making sure that I'm prepared for this fight and, that I'm ready.
Do you feel like there's anything about you that's been underestimated, though, by whether it's the people making the bets for the fights or whatever? Do you feel like anyone's overlooked something about you, underestimated something?
I feel that, they might have, because I feel like a lot of people, they look back on, on the Akhmedov fight, because, he's similar stance, similar height. But, at the end of the day, man, Akhmedov is a completely different fighter, than, Gervonta. And, complete different fighter, that has, complete different outcomes.
And that was your first title fight, right? So there's more experience than there was heading into that fight. Isn't that right?
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I look back on that fight with Akhmedov. I think, it was a great learning experience. And, I've been able to, to take away, nothing but positivity, from that fight.
Do you feel like, I remember Condici dropped him twice, dropped him late to make sure you won the fight. But I recall, there was some fatigue in that fight, late in that fight. Do you feel like your conditioning's better now than it was in that fight?
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of things, like I said, that I was able to learn from that fight. One of those things, was, just the preparation. It was one of the last times, I had been 12 rounds. And, there was things that, that I did wrong in that camp, that I made sure that I corrected. But like I said, it was a great learning experience.
Yeah, and besides that fight, you have 9 knockouts in your last 10 wins. That was the only one that went the distance. What's changing that's letting you get all these knockouts?
Ever since, I started working with Virgil Hunter, ever since, I made the move up to 140 pounds, I've been, a lot more comfortable. I've felt, even in the Akhmedov fight, I showed, I carry my power, throughout the whole fight, whether it's round 1 or round 12, I'm a dangerous fighter.
What is it? Is it the way Virgil's got you throwing your punches? I know you mentioned, he moved you up in weight too, but what do you think it is that Virgil's teaching you that you could share with us that's getting you the success?
Man, there's there's a lot of things that that I think have attributed to that. Just Virgil, really taught me how to work off my jab. Just how to be patient. How not to rush things that happen in the ring. Whether it's me getting my opponent hurt, whether it's me trying to land the big shots. Just letting it come natural. And I've been very happy with the progress that me and Virgil have made throughout the last couple of years.
You're usually dropping guys with that left hook, or sometimes like a half left hook, left uppercut. But is that your money shot, Mario?
I don't think I have necessarily one money shot, but it's definitely one of my dangerous punches. I've been able to drop my opponents with multiple punches, whether it's overhand, whether it's a hook to the body, hook to the head, an uppercut. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people overlook the power that I bring in every fight.
Do you feel like you have, I mean, you don't know until you get in there and fight the other man, but do you feel like you're the puncher in this fight? Or if not, you punch just as hard as Tank?
No, definitely. No, I definitely feel, I mean, don't get me wrong, Tank is, he's a dangerous fighter. His record speaks for himself, but, I'm a dangerous fighter at 140 pounds.
You feel like this will be the biggest, test for the chin. And do you feel like you'll be able to stand up to that?
Yeah, no, I mean, in general, man, this is, the biggest test, for both of us, in both of our careers, whether it's, talking about, taking shots, whether it's just talking about, big fights and, a huge step up, in competition, for each of us.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have to raise your level for this fight from where it's been previous?
I don't feel like I had to raise my level, but I mean, this is definitely, the type of fight, where I'm like, I feel like I'll be able to rise to the occasion. A lot of times, the fighting a better fighter, brings out the best in you. And that's exactly how I feel going into this fight.
What did you take away from the Leo Santa Cruz fight when you were able to go watch it?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of it. I never study, like one fight too much because again, styles make fights.
Right.
And I don't have the same style as Santa Cruz, but Santa Cruz did show, Tank, can get touched up, and if it's gonna be a dangerous fight, if I'm able, to touch him up, the same way, that Santa Cruz was.
And sometimes they say that the mental warfare begins before the bell rings, and Gervonta, like a Mike Tyson, he likes to sense fear or intimidation before he gets in there. Do you feel at all like you got to show him, whether it's at the weigh-in or whether it's fight week, that no, I'm here, and it's good? Do you feel that at all, or is that not too necessary before you get in the ring?
No, I mean, I don't feel that it's necessary, for myself. I've never been the type of fighter, where those type of antics, fuel me or motivate me. At the end of the day, I know what I had to do. I know the threat that I have in front of me, and all that matters to me, is what happens when both of us step in the ring on the 26th.
Where did you get the name El Azteca?
I mean, I was like 14-0. I mean, before I had the name, Golden Boy, and I just wanted something, that was gonna just be my own. I was getting a lot of comparisons, or I was always being asked if I was trying to follow, the footsteps, of De La Hoya and everything, or other fighters. But I'm in the sport, to make my own mark, to make my own destiny, and I wanted something that was gonna represent, not only me, but something I've always been very prideful of, and that's being, a young successful Mexican. And that's exactly why I chose the name, El Azteca. There's nothing more fierce, in Mexican traditions, than an Aztec warrior.
Mm-hmm. That came from you then. That was
that was me.
So that answers the question that Gervonta had at the press conference. Yeah. Before I let you get out of here, man, what's your, obviously you see yourself coming out on top, Mario, but how do you visualize the fight? How do you get your hand raised?
Like I said, man, I just got to go in there, work on, what we, have been, drilling, every day in the gym. And, you know, that is just, you know, me being me, you know, me being a successful, you know, junior lightweight fighter, you know, very dangerous, you know, junior lightweight. And, you know, at the end of the day, man, like I said, you know, Gervonta has to prove, you know, that he's able, you know, to step up 2 weight classes and, you know, step up, you know, to this type of competition.
Junior welterweight, Mario, as you were saying.
Yeah, junior welterweight.
Yeah, he's keeping it tight-lipped. This is a man ready to talk with his fist. I could see that. Before you get out of here, too, what do you think about, you know, potentially facing Josh Taylor for all the belts if down the road? You know, first things first with this big pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, you know, first things first, man. I got, you know, a huge task in front of me, but, you know, given, you know, everything goes, you know, as we're planning, man, I would love a shot, you know, at Josh Taylor. You know, I think he's a great boxer. Every time he fights, you know, he leaves everything in the ring, you know, and he makes a statement. You know, that's exactly, you know, the type of fighter that I would love, you know, to share the ring with.
Well, thank you, Mario, before I let you get out of here. Anything else you want to say to the boxing fans that people will be tuning in June 26th?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you got your tickets, you know, already, or if you haven't, you know, make sure you order the pay-per-view. It's gonna be a great night of boxing, you know, from the undercard, you know, especially the main event. I know, you know, definitely it's not gonna disappoint. And you know, appreciate you, man. It was always a pleasure being on. And yeah, man.
No, actually, I gotta get. Are we making too much about size in this fight?
Oh, I don't know. You know, man. Again, I mean, you know, I'm. I just make sure, you know, I'm you know, I'm ready. You know, I know Gervonta is gonna be ready. You know, the size difference, you know, it is pretty crazy for this fight. But you know, we're just gonna see how, you know, how everything plays out.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you, brother. Good luck and great fight. I know it's gonna be a great fight. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.